Hello students, welcome to GoVidya and welcome back to the 1000 important series on transformers questions. So let's move to the first question. If you see the first question, two single phase transformers A and B with equal turns ratio having reactances of J3 ohm and J9 ohm and refer to secondary, and these two are referred to secondary. When operated in parallel, the load sharing of 100 kilowatts at 0.8 power factor lag between A and B transformers would be respectively. So in this question, they are asking what is the load sharing of each transformer. Here the each transformer is nothing but the load sharing of transformer A and the transformer B. So before that, let's know one point. The per unit impedances are inversely proportional to the load sharing. Already we know that. So we will calculate the load sharing of two transformers. The first is A transformer. So that is equal to, we will write the total load given in the problem by the impedance of the transformer B by XA plus the total impedance of XA plus XB. So what is the S given in the problem? That is 100 into XB is J9 by XA is J3 plus J9. So 100 into 9 by 12 we will get 0.75. We will get 0.75, which is nothing but 75 kilowatts. Yes or not? So in the same way we have to calculate the load sharing for the B transformer also. So load sharing of B transformer, that is S into XA by XA plus XB. So the total load given in the problem is 100 kilowatts. So 100 into XA is J3 by J3 plus J9. So we will get 100 into, this is 0.3 by 12, we will get the 0.25 because 1 by 4, that is 0.25, and we will get 25 kilowatts. So the load sharing by A transformer is 75 kilowatts and the load sharing by the transformer B is 25 kilowatts. So clear? The A is 75 and the B is 25 kilowatts. So let's check the options. Option A, 75 kilowatts and 25 kilowatts. So yes, for a transformer A, 75 kilowatts and for the transformer B, 25 kilowatts. So the option A matches with the, for the given problem. So let's move to the next question. So if you see the question, a three-phase transformer has 420 and 36 turns on the primary and the secondary windings respectively. So the primary and secondary windings they have given. The supply voltage is 3300 volts. The secondary line voltage on the no load when the windings are connected in star delta. So we have to calculate the secondary line voltage on the no load when they are connected in star delta. So before doing the problem, let's know some of the basics. That is star connection. We know in the star connection, V line is equal to root 3 V phase and the current IL is equal to I phase. Yes or not? In the star connection. Coming to the delta connection, the voltage VL will be equal to V phase and the current changes IL is equal to root 3 I phase. So before solving this problem, we have to know some of the basics. That is, in the star connection, the line voltage will be equal to root 3 of the phase voltage, and the line current will be equal to the phase current. At the same time, in the delta connection, VL is equal to V phase, nothing but the line voltage will be equal to the phase voltage, and the line current will be equal to the root 3 times of the phase current. So we have to calculate the secondary line voltage on no load, but in the star delta. They have mentioned particularly the star delta. So we know the formula voltage transformation ratio. We know the formula voltage transformation ratio. K is equal to, we can write simply N2 by N1 by N1 is equal to V2 phase by V1. V2 phase by V1 phase. Because in the question they have mentioned star delta. In delta, anywhere the line voltage will be equal to the phase voltage. So we know the value of N2, they have given 36 turns by N1 is 420 turns is equal to V2 by, and the supply voltage is 3300 volts. Nothing but they have given the, in the primary they have given the supply voltage as 3300, that is nothing but the line voltage. Let's convert it into the phase voltage. So we will do 3300 by root 3. So then we will get, if we solve, we will get 163.45 volts. But according to the options, let's check. In the option they have given 164. So we will write the nearest value as 164 volts. So if you see, with this basics only we have done the problem, and we know the voltage transformation ratio K is equal to N2 by N1 is equal to V2 by V1, that is also equal to E2 by E1. From this, in the question they have asked the secondary line voltage, and they have given in the star delta connection. So I have found the secondary line voltage, but in the delta connection, that is nothing but 164 volts. So the option C matches with the question. Clear? So let's move to the next question. If you see the question, 11 kV by 22 kV, 220 kVA, single phase transformer has full load efficiency of 96%. The per unit full load loss is, in the question they are asking about the per unit full load loss, and one more information, that is has a full load efficiency. It is operating at a full load efficiency, nothing but maximum efficiency it is operating, and the rated kVA is given as 220 kVA. But it operating in the full load efficiency, I will take the 220 kVA as a base power, as I can take, because it is operating in the rated condition with the maximum efficiency. So let's solve the problem. So in the problem they have given the rated kVA as 220 kVA, but it is operating in, I can write it is operating rated condition with full load or maximum efficiency, with maximum efficiency. Then I can take as a base power is equal to 220 kilowatts. Yes, we know the formula, and also we know the formula efficiency is equal to P out by P in. P out by P in. So in the question efficiency they have given us 96%, and the P out is given as 220 kVA. Yes or not? So from this we will calculate the P input. P out by efficiency. So that is 220 by 0.96. It is less than 1, which you will get around 212 point 211 point something, around 211.36 kilowatts, the P input. Clear? Now we have to calculate the total losses. Why we have to calculate the total losses? Because the loss, nothing the information has given about the losses, but I know the output and the input right now. So from that information I can calculate the total losses, which is nothing but P output minus P input. So which will give P output is 220 minus P input is we got 211.36. So approximately we will get 8.8 the total losses. But in the question we have to calculate the per unit full load copper loss. Per unit full load losses, not copper losses, sorry, per unit full load losses. So the formula for the per unit full load loss is nothing but total losses by base power. Total losses by base power. So the total losses we got is 8.8. The base power is 220. So when we solve, we will get around 0.046. So the option C matches. So 0.0416. So based on the problem, we have to take the information. Clear? So if we see the formula for the per unit full load loss, the total losses by base power. In the question they didn't mention about any losses, but from the given data we have found the losses. But in the question they have given the P out and we have found the P in and we have found the total losses. So clear? Let's move to the next question. A three-phase star delta transformer feeding a 20 kVA load with a primary phase current of 10 amperes and secondary line current of 8.66 amperes. The transformation ratio of this transformer is, again the question, the transformer ratio they are asking, and the primary phase current they have given us 10 amperes and the secondary line current of 8.66 amperes. What is the transformation ratio? We know the formula, transformation ratio K is equal to, the primary phase current is 10 amperes and the secondary line current is nothing but 8.66. Because it is a line current, we have to convert into the phase. So we will get K is equal to 10 by 8.66 by root 3, we will get around 1.5. So let me check once. So 8.66 by 1.732 we will get 5. So we will get the 5 here. So 10 by 5. 8.66 by root 3 is nothing but the 5. So we will get K is equal to 2. So the transformation ratio of this transformer is 2. So the option C matches. So clear? Let's move to the next question. In a 300 by 250 volt auto transformer, the current in the common winding is 10 amperes at full load. Determine the current drawn from the source. So they have given an auto transformer. In the auto transformer, the common winding current is 10 amperes and we have to calculate the current drawn from the source. So in a transformer, the common winding is 10 amperes. Nothing but this 10 amperes will be shared by both the primary and the secondary winding. So from that relation we can write common winding IC current will be shared by both the primary and the secondary. I can write I2 minus I1. I2 minus I1. So we know the power equation P is equal to V1 I1 is equal to V2 I2. We have to calculate the current drawn from the source. From the source means the current is I1. So we have to calculate the current I1. So from this you can write I2, but in terms of I1 you have to write. How will you write? So I can write I2 is equal to IC plus I1. Write I2 in terms of I1. So in the question, what is the V1 value? 300 volts. V2 is 250 volts. 250 volts. Clear? We will substitute these values here. 300 into I1, that is equal to V2 is 250 into I2 is nothing but IC plus I1. I will substitute directly IC plus I1. But in the question, the common winding current is given as 10 amperes. So 2500 into IC value is 10 plus I1. I have to calculate the current drawn from the source. This is 300 I1. So 300 I1 is equal to 2500 into, sorry, this is not 250. 250 into 10, that is 2500 plus 250 into I1, that is 250 I1. I will take to this side, 300 I1 minus 250 I1 will become 50 I1, that is equal to 2500. So this 50 will cancel 50 times. Then I will get the I1 value as 50 amperes. The I1 is 50 amperes, which is nothing but the current drawn from the source. So the option A 50, option B 60, 55D. So the option A matches with the question. So see, in the question they have given the common winding current, which is nothing but it will share, nothing but the current will be shared by both the primary and the secondary. That happens only in the auto transformer. Clear? So let's move to the next question. A single phase transformer is connected to a constant resistance load. Now an inductor is connected in parallel to load resistance. Which of the following may happen? So for a single transformer, it was already connected to the constant resistance load, But apart from that, inductor is also connected in parallel. What happens? See, when inductor is connected in parallel, reactive power will be coming into the picture. Due to the reactive power, the current will be very large. The current will be generated in the large. If the current is generated in the very high, if the current is in very high, then what happens to the copper losses? Copper losses, I square R losses. So it depends upon the current. If you are connecting in the parallel, definitely the current will increase. Definitely in the copper loss, if the current is increasing, definitely in the copper losses also the current will increase. Yes or not? Because of the reactive power coming into the picture. So definitely if the inductor is connected in the parallel, reactive power will come into the picture, will exist. Nothing but it will come into picture. Due to this, current will increase. So definitely the I square R loss, in that I square R, current will increase. So the copper loss will increase. What about the voltage regulation? See, even though in voltage regulation also what happens? Due to the reactive power, the voltage drop will increase. If the voltage drop increases, what happens? Definitely the voltage regulation also will increase. So voltage regulation is nothing but the ratio of no load voltage to full load voltage. Yes or not? As the voltage drop increases, definitely the voltage regulation will also increase. So if inductor is connected in the parallel, the reactive power coming into the picture, then the current will increase, which leads the current to increase more. Reactive power will lead the current to increase more, then the copper losses also will increase. At the same time, the voltage regulation also increases. Yes, clear? So everything happens because of the reactive power. Why? Because the inductor is connected in parallel. Clear? So let's move to the next question. A 1 kV by 11 kV 110 kVA transformer has core loss resistance of 1000 ohm. Core loss resistance and magnetizing current of 500 ohm. Calculate the no load current and power. So in the question they have given the core loss. So core loss is nothing but RC is equal to 1000 ohms. And magnetizing current RM, that is equal to 500 ohms. So we have to calculate the no load current. So we know the formula, IC is equal to, so the V1 is 1 kV. So we will get V1 by RC, which is nothing but 1 kV is nothing but 1000, 1000 by 1000 is 1 ampere, we will get IC value. Now the magnetizing current IM is equal to V1 by RM, which is nothing but 1000 by 500. So we will be getting 2 amperes. We have to calculate now the I naught. We know the formula I naught is equal to root of IC square plus or IM square, or we can say I1 square plus I2 square also. So IC square is 1 square and IM square is 2 square. So we will get around 2.24 amperes, the no load current. So I naught is equal to 2.24 amperes. Next we have to calculate the power. So P is equal to I square into R. I square is 1 ampere into R is 1000 ohm. So can I write 1 kilowatt? Yes. So the power will be is equal to 1 kilowatt. So I naught, the no load current will be 2.23 and 2 kilowatts. No, 2.23 or nearly 2.24, 2.323 and 1 kilowatt. So the option B matches. So let's move to the next question. The copper losses and iron losses of a transformer at 120% of full load at 1200 watts and 600 watts respectively. The total loss of this transformer at the full load. So we have to calculate the total losses, but for the copper losses and the iron losses they have given at 120% of the full load. So copper loss, so we can write copper loss at 120%, which is nothing but 1200 watts. For iron losses 600 watts. But iron losses are constant losses. That doesn't change. So at 120%, let's calculate the, at 120% they have given the 1200 watts. But I have to calculate at the full load and I have to find the total losses. So I can write, so copper losses at 120%, 1200, that is equal to full load copper losses into 120 by 100 whole square. So from there we will get the full load copper losses. So this will be 1.120 by 100, 12 square, that's 1.44, and 1200 by, if you do, we will get 833.33 watts at full load. This is at full load. The copper losses at full load is 833.33 watts, but at 120%, it is 1200 watts. But I have to calculate on the full load. So if I want to calculate the total losses is nothing but the copper losses at full load plus iron losses. The full load copper loss we got 833.33 plus constant losses even at 120% or 100% or 60% or any percent, The iron losses does not change because iron losses are the constant losses. So that will be 600 watts. So 8 plus 6 is 14, we will get around 1434. So you will get 1434 watts. So the total losses will be 1886, no, 1800, no. So the option D matches 1434 watts. So thank you everyone.